Thank you. Many members of Congress are facing heated questions from constituents at town hall meetings in their districts. More than 2,000 people greeted Arkansas Republican Senator, that's Tom Cotton, this week. People asked him about building a wall along the border with Mexico, pushing the president to release his tax returns, and repealing the Affordable Care Act.
We are concerned because it appears that this administration is trampling our constitutional rights.
My husband with dementia, Alzheimer's, and plus multiple other things. And you want to stand there with him at home, expect us to be calm, cool, and collective. Wow, what kind of insurance do you have?
Will you commit to replacements in the same way that you have committed to the repeal?
Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Katie. Let's take a couple more comments or questions about health care.
Senator Cotton is joining us now at the table with the screams of "do your job" still fresh in your ears, I'm sure. What was that like for you? I'm wondering, because many people in that room had voted for you and now they're booing you. It had to be a humbling experience for you. I want to know what you were thinking at that moment.
Doing a town hall like that, Gail, is part of our job. You know, we moved a couple times from a 400-person venue to a 1,200-person venue and ultimately to a 2,200-person venue because I wanted to have as big a conversation as I could with Arkansans and accommodate as many. Obviously, we had a lot of people in that room that disagreed with me.
Did you know they were going to be that angry?
I thought that there might be some strong passions there, but part of our job is to listen to those people we represent. Look, we can never agree with them all. I serve 3 million people.
So what was your takeaway after that?
Well, you know, I tried to listen to their concerns, but also explain some of the reasons why, for instance, I think Obamacare, although I can see that it has helped some people, has helped or has hurt many more, and that I want to fix our health care system. Some of the things that we just heard there about people concerned about keeping their health insurance they have a pre-existing condition or not paying more, completely valid. I just think Obamacare has made those worse and that we can solve those problems in a better way.
You've warned the party not to repeal Obamacare without a replacement ready to go. But the former House Speaker John Boehner has predicted that basically things aren't going to change much. I mean, he says Republicans never, ever agree on health care. Can you agree on health care?
I think we're going to get to an agreement this year. Look, it took 15 months for the Democratic Congress to write Obamacare. I don't think it'll take us that long to write a replacement, but that's part of the democratic process. We're at home hearing from constituents like I did this week. We're back in Washington next week. This is going to be an open process with lots of input. I think we'll get to a position where we can pass legislation that's going to solve a lot of the problems that predate Obamacare and our health care system that Obamacare has made worse.
So what is the replacement?
Well, we're still going to be working on it, Nora. As you know, there are lots of ideas and concepts out there. For instance, I think that we should move from subsidies that the government pays directly to insurers to tax credits that empower individual Arkansans to make the right choices for themselves. We should eliminate a lot of the mandates that require people to buy health insurance that they don't need. You know, for instance, people.
Would you support, though, the covering of pre-existing conditions, which is part of Obamacare, as you know? They wanted to cover all these pre-existing and expand the right to mental health.
We absolutely want to make sure that people who have pre-existing conditions can get health insurance. Obamacare did that in one way by imposing a mandate that everyone have to buy a certain kind of insurance and then a tax penalty if they don't. I think there's a better way to do that, to require insurance companies to give continuous coverage to anyone as long as they have insurance, to make that insurance personalized and affordable to them, and also provide people who don't have the means to get that insurance a little financial assistance.
Let's talk about foreign policy and military affairs, because you've served in the military, and I know you sit on the Armed Services Committee. You helped recommend the new National Security Advisor. You made the call, and then the president picked him, and he'll be directing foreign policy. What is the Trump foreign policy?
Well, I wouldn't say it was that direct. You know, H.R. McMaster is a legend in the Army, but he didn't necessarily have the highest profile in Washington. So I suggested General McMaster to the White House, and General McMaster, you know, met with the president, and obviously they hit it off. And I think he's going to be a great pick for the president, for this national security cabinet, and for the American people.
Steve Bannon, speaking at the CPAC conference yesterday, the White House chief strategist, talked about the administration's goals of pursuing economic nationalism and what he called the deconstruction of the administrative state. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Well, I think our administrative state has grown way too large over the last 100 years, really. Too many politicians in Congress, frankly, have been delegating the authority that we're supposed to possess to unelected officials in Washington, D.C. That's bad for our democracy. I think Congress needs to take more responsibility so we can be held accountable.
All right, Senator Cotton, thank you very much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.